Researchers have just discovered that your sleep quality doesn't just affect how tired you feel the next day. It actually rewrites your DNA and determines whether you'll develop chronic diseases in the next decade. I'm going to share with you what this groundbreaking research reveals, and more importantly, how you can use this information to transform your health starting tonight. Welcome back to Health Treatment Center, where we break down the latest medical research into actionable steps you can take today. Here's what most people don't realize about sleep. When you're sleeping, your body isn't just resting. It's running the most sophisticated repair and maintenance program in existence. But here's the shocking part that researchers at Harvard Medical School has published. Poor sleep quality for just 1 week can alter the expression of over 700 genes. These are genes that control inflammation, immune function, stress response, and metabolism. Does this make sense so far? Type yes below. And if you want more evidence-based health content like this, hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started. Let me paint you a picture of what happens in your body during different stages of sleep, because understanding this will change how you prioritize your rest forever. During the first stage of sleep, your heart rate begins to slow down, and your brain starts producing alpha waves. So this is just the warm-up. As you progress into deeper sleep stages, your body releases growth hormone, the same hormone that repairs damaged tissues, builds muscle, and keeps your skin looking youthful. But here's where it gets really interesting. During REM sleep, which most people think is just when you dream, your brain is actually performing what scientists call synaptic pruning. It's literally cleaning out the toxic waste products that build up during the day, including amyloid beta proteins that are linked to Alzheimer's disease. A study published in the journal Science showed that people who consistently get less than 7 hours of sleep have a 70% higher risk of developing dementia later in life. But the good news is that improving your sleep quality can reverse many of these effects. Now let me share with you the 5 key factors that determine whether your sleep is actually healing your body or slowly damaging it. The first factor is sleep duration, but it's not just about hitting 8 hours. Recent research from the Sleep Research Society shows that it's about consistency. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, helps regulate your circadian rhythm. Your circadian rhythm is like your body's master clock, and when it's out of sync, it affects everything from your blood sugar levels to your immune system. Who else has struggled with maintaining a consistent sleep schedule? Share your experience in the comments below. I read every single one, and your story might help someone else who's dealing with the same challenges. The second factor is sleep environment, and this is where most people are unknowingly sabotaging their health. Your bedroom temperature should be between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Why? Because as your body prepares for sleep, your core temperature naturally drops. If your room is too warm, it fights against this natural process. Light exposure is equally critical. Even small amounts of light can suppress melatonin production by up to 50%. This includes the blue light from your phone, which tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. The third factor is what I call pre-sleep nutrition timing. Eating within 3 hours of bedtime can disrupt your sleep quality in ways you might not expect. When you eat late, your body has to divert energy to digestion instead of repair. But here's what's really interesting. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who ate their largest meal at least 4 hours before bedtime had 23% better insulin sensitivity the next day. This means better blood sugar control and reduced diabetes risk. The fourth factor is stress management, and this is where the mind-body connection becomes crucial. Chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, which directly interferes with melatonin production. But researchers at Johns Hopkins have found that people who practice specific stress reduction techniques before bed can improve their sleep quality by up to 40% within just 2 weeks. Before I reveal the fifth factor, if this information has been helpful so far, give this video a like. It really helps us reach more people who need this life-changing information. The fifth and most overlooked factor is what happens in the 90 minutes before you get into bed. This is what sleep researchers call the transition window, and how you spend this time determines whether you'll fall into deep, restorative sleep or toss and turn all night. Your body needs time to shift from the active, alert state of daytime to the calm, repair-focused state of nighttime. Here's a practical protocol you can start implementing tonight. 3 hours before bedtime, have your last substantial meal. 2 hours before bedtime, dim all the lights in your home to 50% or less. 1 hour before bedtime, put away all screens and engage in what I call transition activities. Gentle stretching, reading a physical book, or practicing deep breathing exercises. 30 minutes before bedtime, begin what I call the cooling cascade. Lower your thermostat and take a warm shower. The warm shower might seem counterintuitive, but when you step out, your body temperature drops rapidly, mimicking the natural temperature drop that signals sleep time. But here's what makes this protocol so powerful. It's not just about falling asleep faster. When you follow these steps consistently, you increase your deep sleep time by an average of 27%, according to research from the Stanford Sleep Medicine Center. Deep sleep is when your body produces the most growth hormone, consolidates memories, and repairs cellular damage. Now, let me address the elephant in the room: sleep disorders. If you've been following good sleep hygiene but still feel exhausted during the day, you might have an underlying sleep disorder. Sleep apnea affects over 25 million Americans, and many don't even know they have it. The symptoms aren't always obvious. It's not just loud snoring. It can show up as morning headaches, difficulty concentrating, or feeling tired even after 8 hours of sleep. Comment ready if you're going to try this sleep protocol starting tonight. And if you know someone who's always complaining about being tired despite getting enough sleep, please share this video with them. They might have an undiagnosed sleep issue that needs medical attention. Here's something that might surprise you about the connection between sleep and chronic disease. Poor sleep quality increases inflammation markers in your blood within just one night: C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, and tumor necrosis factor alpha. These are all inflammatory molecules that contribute to heart disease, diabetes, and arthritis. But when you optimize your sleep, these levels normalize surprisingly quickly. A landmark study published in the journal Sleep Medicine followed 50,000 people for over 20 years and found that those who consistently got 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep had a 22% lower risk of heart disease, 16% lower risk of stroke, and 12% lower risk of type 2 diabetes. But here's the really encouraging part. When people improved their sleep habits, their disease risks started dropping within just 30 days. Let me share with you 3 advanced strategies that can amplify these benefits even further. First is what researchers call sleep consolidation. Instead of trying to catch up on sleep during weekends, focus on getting consistent quality sleep every single night. Sleep debt doesn't work like financial debt. You can't just pay it back with extra sleep later. The second advanced strategy is optimizing your sleep cycles. Each complete sleep cycle lasts about 90 minutes, and you go through 4 to 6 cycles per night. The key is to wake up at the end of a cycle rather than in the middle. There are apps that can track your sleep cycles, but a simple trick is to count backwards from your wake-up time in 90-minute intervals to find the best bedtime. The third strategy is what I call nutritional sleep support. Certain nutrients can enhance sleep quality naturally. Magnesium helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the rest and digest response. Tart cherry juice contains natural melatonin and has been shown to increase sleep time by an average of 84 minutes per night. But remember, supplements should complement, not replace, good sleep hygiene practices. I need to address some important safety considerations. If you're currently taking sleep medications, don't stop them abruptly. Work with your healthcare provider to develop a plan that might allow you to gradually reduce dependence on medication as your natural sleep improves. Some people have medical conditions that affect sleep, such as sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or chronic pain conditions, and these require professional medical evaluation and treatment. Here's something that gives me hope about sleep research. Unlike many health interventions, improving sleep quality is free and accessible to almost everyone. You don't need expensive equipment or medications. You need knowledge, consistency, and patience. The changes I've shared with you tonight can start making a difference immediately. But the full benefits develop over 2 to 4 weeks as your circadian rhythm resets and your sleep architecture improves. What was your biggest takeaway from this information? Share it in the comments below. Subscribe to Health Treatment Center for more science-backed health content. And I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive deeper into the connection between sleep and weight management. Remember, every night is a new opportunity to invest in your health. Make it count.